Hey everybody, this is Asher. Hello watching on Twitch. Hello those of you watching on YouTube. This is Dyson Sphere Program and I can't talk, which is a lot of fun. You can see we have happy little white cubes here. These are the universe matrices. Includes everything, the final answer to the theory of everything, solving the ultimate mystery of the universe. That's right, we are at the end of the research tree here for mission completed. We are building a great civilization by literally doing what the planetary computer in The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy could not. Of course, there's other things that we can do after this. Obviously, we haven't finished our Dyson Sphere. There's plenty of research we can do here. We can make an artificial star on our planet if we wanted to. There is a whole bunch of upgrades that we could do that are all repeatable, that will greatly increase our ability to zip and move around. And then there's some upgrades that I haven't even quite gotten to, like increasing ray efficiency. But, and then obviously there's the state of our Dyson Sphere. We're actually up to generating 1 gigawatt. Now granted, the units of measurement in this game obviously are a little low compared to other stuff, but the idea here is at least that we have that. Now granted, there's a generation capacity of the Dyson shell, which is a little bit different, but we're gonna pretend that all of this together is officially doing that. But look, I've obviously changed my science here. We have one very tall stack that's actually working all the way up here. We have another very tall stack that will very, very slowly research, and it only needs the white cubes to research. So theoretically, this is going to be done in an hour. But I am still blocked by green cubes, which is kind of ironic because if you remember from the last stream, I was trying to get my antimatter production together, and boy did I do it. I just want to take a quick look at these things. I have 2 arrays here, and this is where the stream kind of stuttered last time, so hopefully it's okay now. We still have our nice buzzing sound here. Not all of these are doing it, but I don't even need to be dropping gravitational lenses in here to get enough of production. At least enough production to outpace my green researchers is down to 28. I'm consuming more right now because I dumped a few of my little things. If you saw the boxes next to these lines, which these are using a planetary logistics station, highly recommended. Thanks to all of you who pointed out the different things like changing the max charging power, which is very important for my place on near that black hole. You can also change the percentage that drones can actually move stuff over if I want to have bigger drops, but I don't mind smaller drops. I also have little boxes next to here. You can see that you can filter the sorters as well. But we have no shortage of anything except for, not even antimatter. We have no shortage of anything except for green research. So that's one thing that maybe I can get that timer to get knocked down just a little bit further. I do want to check out the other polar station as well, as we're now flying over at nighttime. It's all very happy. Apparently there's a point where my stream was not very happy with me, but it seems to be going a little bit better now. What my plan essentially was is that we have one interstellar planetary logistics station that is our demand point for these, which is critical photons. These are what gets produced by these little buddies, which I've gotten questions on it a few times on stream for, do these Dyson shell things actually stop sun transmission here? We're going to watch right now. This is not going to stop from the ray transmitters, which shouldn't be a surprise because these are actually designed to pull from the Dyson shell. So you can see that we have continuous receiving. Well, you know, it is going down, so maybe I am totally wrong about this. So that's egg on my face, I guess. But let's just see as the sun goes around here again if we're going to get our receiving back up, because I did check with the solar panels as well. The solar panels definitely don't lose receiving from getting covered by the Dyson shell. But once again, these are pulling just directly from everything else here. So interesting. We're not going to mess with success, I guess. So these are going up. That one's not going up. I don't have good answers. Someone way smarter than me on one of these internet places can. But anyway, there's our happy little gas giant. We have logistics ships going all over the place right now. You can see I redid my green research as well. And it looks like our shortfall... We have a bunch of gravity lenses, which is cute. Right now our shortfall is once again those damn quantum processor, quantum chips. But my base is doing its best. Like, it's trying here. So if there's a way that I could just produce even more quantum chips, that'd be nice. Like you can see right here, we have all kinds of unipolar magnet. I had to do a bunch of dragging there myself because you see I have 0 of 7 logistics ships. There was an update that did make all of these changes, which is really nice. Must equip space warpers was checked. However, for whatever reason, when the update started, because it had a unlimited distance, and I changed this to 8 light years to fix this later, but it's too late now. It started default at unlimited distance. You can guess what's happening with our logistics vessels here. This is one reason I'm excited to do a new save eventually, is that almost everybody is just stuck in space, and I have a bunch of ships that just flat out left to fly to a black hole without permission, and that's from the update. So it's too bad, so sad, but all my other production's great. I'm not going to complain about that. So there are a few things I can do today. One of them is really going to boil down to be, let's see how many of these we need, because I can always pull computer chips off the line. Do I have an interplanetary logistics station? Yes. Do I have more space warpers? I can pull some green research cubes out of the box here. That'll be fine, because I do want to go ahead. One thing I haven't done yet that I've kind of been meaning to do is we're going to get from our spaghetti station here again. Just steal dinner for a second. One thing I haven't taken a look at is a planet with a sulfuric acid ocean. So at least I feel like I should do that in the limited time that we have before the game says, haha, you win, you get a chicken dinner or something. So there's a joke there. I went for it. Can't say it was my best move, but yeah, like I said, it's just really interesting to see how I went from, oh my god, I'm desperate for green research, to, holy crap, I kind of have everything together. And yes, this production's a little slow. And one thing I can definitely do to fix it is I'm just going to go over this building station again. You can see that we have, this is fine, graphene's fine, crystal's fine. That's more graphene. So we have graphene just all over the place. Our hydrogen production is fantastic because we're harvesting gas giants now. It's just, well, first off, we're missing some glass. That's because we need to get more glass actually producing over here. And it's trying. We have glass, and then we're going into titanium glass. Are we low on titanium all of a sudden? Because that is definitely fixable. Interesting. Okay, well, a little bit of surprising logistics blockage, but we can see right here. So this is where our titanium is coming from. We do have titanium kind of all over the place. As we can see, once again, we follow our spaghettification, and look at this. We just have a bunch of titanium here and a little bit going into over there. You know what? I'm gonna be bold. I'm gonna pull everything. I'm gonna drop like 4 in here. I'm assuming what's happening is that I'm supposed to be getting titanium to one of these logistics stations, and it's coming, but it's out. We do have a few more ships here, so once this delivery does happen, it'll help somewhat. Let's see here. How many of these do I need to build? Well, we can figure that out in a second. Let's go ahead and get our big drop down here, because I was wondering a little bit before, was I low on titanium glass or something like that, but shouldn't be this low. So once again, all we gotta do is just control click and we can just hold down the mouse button. And I am using the slow things here, so it's gonna be awkwardly spread out. But at least if we inject some of this in here, this should increase the quantum chip production a little bit. Yeah, the joke was attempted. You can see that I try to come at it with the jokes, and the jokes usually just fall flat. Alright, so how much titanium is this? Because you can see our machines are hungry. I have not overstocked this at all. which makes me wonder if I need to get some new, like, titanium output somewhere. But yeah, it's taking this much for me to fill up the line. And we've only dropped that much in. So what that tells me is that I just need to go ahead, follow the spaghetti one more time, once more into the breach. That's another game. That was a fun series. Alright, you know what we're going to do? We don't need this right now. This stuff is fine. I have a ton of that. Look at this. Look at this. All of our titanium plates that we could ever want are coming in here now. And we're going to have a few more, because you can just control-click, drop it on there, and we should be okay. Even the silicon's trying to come in as well. Everything is just doing their best. If we check the time here, it's up to 77 minutes now, but it's going. It's possible we get a little bit more quantum chip production, but there's just little things like this that we babysit, and it works, and maybe eventually we do get something in here. As you can see, like this now, it needs more titanium. It has plenty of water. You can see now that we have some glass going, but we really kind of want to overwhelm all of this stuff. Once all of this stuff gets saturated, we'll probably find that it's going to be like, I want more graphene. But there are some depressing stats we can look at. Like I was, let me look at my production. It's so hard to push P over here. Like Dyson Sphere right now, structure point 0.1, cell point 0. That's because we're making so few things. But even the production, I was looking at what other people were posting. It's like, yes, if you want to make one small carrier rocket per second, you need to have this many things. If you want to make one research per second, you need to have this many things. Like, good lord, you guys are much better at like making organized bases. But I think we pretty much have a stable timeline now, because once again, these green research form at a certain pace, and I do have a lot of research matrices here. I have thought about dropping a few more down. You can see it's really easy to see where these are. I've thought about dropping down a few more just to try and have production here, but our green's going to be bottlenecking us. As you can see, we're not all the way up on the tower anymore, so we definitely have enough. So what did I say we can do for fun is hopefully, I'm probably going to have enough energy to do all this, but we can always pull some more energy sources later. So let's fly up into space. And here we go with this mess again. So there's our Dyson shell. There's our happy little planet. And I'm going to get some... Let's do some solar panels. Let's not repeat the mistakes of the past. And I'm going to lazy it up and totally use a space warper. We have so many of them, why not use them? And maybe miss the planet. Ooh. Ooh. That was a hot drop. Alright. I've definitely never done that before. Alright, so we can see all of our production here. Is titanium... Did we run out? Or are we just not mining for some reason? Oh, it's because I only have one smelter. I don't know if I can make... I don't know if I have the materials to make more right now, but... I definitely don't have magnets. But I am mining iron, like right here. So, how many more smelters can I make? I think 3 is fine. So see, this is just one of those things where like I wanted to store titanium while I had it. And you can see I have these little hydrogen fuel... Ooh, I did not mean to take all of them. Have these little hydrogen fuel rods as well. I will burn through these way faster than anything else, but they're here. So that's cute. But all we're going to do now is just fix this production system. Like, this is gone. This is donezo. The production chain, that was done. Because, like, let's think about this for a second. This is one series of smelters that is supplying a large chunk of my titanium production needs for my main production planet. and one smelter almost kept up with that demand. It's kind of impressive when you think about it. Titanium's not nearly as important as silicon. I have a feeling that that will change as time goes on, but we're gonna have a lot more here, so that's good. Anyway, let's not repeat mistakes from last time. We're gonna grab some solar panels with us. That's definitely not enough to encircle the world, but we're gonna at least take a few and take our time with it, because I swear that technology looks like it's going a lot faster to me. And maybe it's just me, but it looks like it's going faster. But anyway, while we're sitting here on the ground, you know what? We don't have to do this sitting on the ground. We can auto-save and apparently not fly. That is one thing, that since we're in early access, we don't have quite as much optimization going on for us. So those auto-saves really are starting to slow down the game every time we go. But we just want to visit a planet with a sulfuric acid ocean. And that's partially because sulfuric acid can end up being really easy to produce. But it saves us a lot of steps if we can just import it. So it's going to be water, ocean, water, ocean. We don't want that. We want the nasty ocean. And for all I know, I'm going to click on something and be like, okay, this is it. Maybe we have a lot of B-type stars, M-type stars. And now that we can scan everything, it is kind of just a game of whack-a-mole to a point. The Amazon star system, there's a sulfuric acid ocean. Alright, it's an M star, which is a little boring, but, you know, it's effective. That's the important thing. So it's going to be kind of tucked behind this star and not too far in the distance. I do kind of want to visit a O-type star just because I haven't really had cause to do that yet. So maybe we can do that as well as a little bonus here. I haven't visited a red giant either, but that red giant is at kind of an inconvenient place. It's alright though. There's lots of things I can always save for the next save too. I definitely am. When I generate another world, I don't have a prefab seed in mind. I'm happy to take suggestions. I'm going to try to pick something that's a little more compact, because I did play around with like the seed generator, and you can definitely get some stuff that will be a lot more compact. You don't have to fly 20 some light years just to get to a black hole. So let's go to no longer Jeff Bezos' star system. There's a joke there. So we're going to fly past that useless vendor matrix, Meatrix. But the nice thing about this flight is that we're not going to have to run out of time and talk about sports. Which is okay, because apparently not much has changed between the past few days versus now. The Super Bowl still hasn't happened. Things are still being played. But look, star system. I actually have not been to the star system, so I have no idea what's here. So, ooh, new content. My save file is going to get a lot bigger. Let's go ahead and just get close and comfortable with the star itself. I don't even care what the ocean is just yet. Woo! Oh, that is bright. Alright, bright light. So, cute. But that's an M-type star. I think it's the one Star Trek loves so much. So we have volcanic gas. We have a volcanic ash planet. That's where our sulfuric acid ocean is, of course. Yeah, no. Private Mars colony. Everyone promises a private Mars colony. There's even that group that's like, you'll die, but you'll be dead on Mars. And people are like, I'll sign up for that. Thinking like, yeah, but you like the idea of going to Mars, but probably don't like the idea of dying. I forget what that one was called, but it was some people that definitely got a lot of interesting investment money, and then it went belly up pretty much for ethical concerns on top of logistical concerns, because it's like, oh, we're planning on people dying, but also we don't really have solid plans. We've just read a lot of science fiction. So, look. That's volcanic. It's ashy. What are our other elements on here? I mean, it's unremarkable. It has a lot of titanium, which, as we just discussed, we don't need a ton of. So, this has a pretty good orbital period, but it's nothing like too remarkable. And anyway, here's sulfuric acid, and splashing it just like anything else. I really do hope that as they build up the game some, that they end up having like different types of oceans. This is one of those things that I just would love to see more. Anyway, before I make the mistakes from last time, we are going to go ahead, since this is right on the equator, I'm going to drop some solar panels. Yeah. Well, I mean, the difference is that Tereshkova has actually been to space. What that other program was asking for is pretty much a bunch of cosplayers that's like, will you give us money to fund a mission that's going to kill you? It's like you took an Ask Reddit thread and made people pay for it. But yeah, let's hear. There's so many people in the kind of space race that all have their sights set on Mars. There's some theorizing for all. That's really interesting. That's actually an ash hill. I'd love to see them include mountainous terrain in this stuff eventually. But yeah, one thing that I'm kind of looking forward to seeing in the future is there was speculation for a while that it would end up being not a government entity, but a private entity that made it to Mars first. I think with the fact that so many of, at least on the American side, the new contractors have kind of replaced the old jet fighter contractors. I think that may not be as much of a thing as maybe at the end of the aughts. But you still have places like SpaceX, Virgin Galactic, things like that that are around and trying to do stuff. But most of them are just driving a profit by charging people for flights into space, which, don't get me wrong, that is a business model. Russia's been doing that for a very long time, as most people probably know. Let's see, how many of these do I have left? Maybe I did bring enough to encircle the planet. But yeah, for anyone that was criticizing me, and I did get a few people, one of my favorite comments from YouTube for the last thing that I posted was, this is hard to watch. It's like, yeah, you know what, it was really embarrassing to play too, where I'm just sitting here like, I can't make power! I don't have trees to eat, what do I do? So one of the things is just that learning to encircle a planet in solar systems, or in solar panels, kind of screwed up my ability to like play the game correctly. Like I didn't have to learn mechanics, so I just skip it. Okay. Nope. Ban UC Jacob 19974. Bye bye. Yeah, it's okay. The thing is that I don't want to be famous. So, question answered. Maybe that bot was not a bot. Maybe it was a genuine person that wanted to help. It's like, oh, you know how to build a Dyson Sphere. Maybe you are the next person to lead us to the promised land. Maybe he's going to sell me a ticket to Mars. I don't know. Maybe sell me a ticket to Uranus. Heard you can get that at Las Vegas probably too, so lots of options there. Yeah, like things like Nightbot and stuff is all stuff I should set up. I can barely power a planet. But yeah, what you want to do for this is put it on the equator, unless you run into planets that actually are aligned differently. Like I've run into actually, and like looking at some how the hell do I play this game again at the start saves. I had one seed file that generated with a planet that was on a horizontal axis, but it wasn't like polarly pointing there, so it's like spinning around, but sometimes It's it's not just, it's on a horizontal axis, but it's like still flipping around like a spinning coin around the star, so that's practically useless for this kind of thing. Because typically if it's like on a axial tilt, you'd want to just put all your solar panels on the side that's facing the star. So I didn't even know that that was something where even the planet failed to do its thing. Anyway, what's our power generation here like? And that's our system right now, which, by the way, you can see our power generation is doing great. Can I look at our local system? Amazon Star 1, 67 something units. Should be fine. Oh, good. I was really worried that I was like, crap, did I not grab enough stuff to build power lines? That would be embarrassing. Okay. Private profit. No, that's true. There's some theorizing just in terms of Mars could have like a lot of precious metals, kind of like Earth does near the surface. It's not quite like the moon where it's been battered to have a bunch of like hydrogen 3 available, but need foundation support. There we go. But I think traditionally speaking, you're right. There's if there's a private flight that goes to Mars, it'll be because it's somebody's pet project and they kind of just want to dunk on everybody else. I do just realize though that I made a big mistake, and that's that I didn't bring any interstellar logistics vessels, but we can fix that in a minute. So one thing I meant to do was actually go to my box where I'm making engines. Wow. It's dumb cat o'clock. It is literally, they're just running around like idiots. Alright. Well, it's easy enough to fly back and do this, but where I made a mistake last time, and you can see that I'm not killing the power grid entirely. But one thing you can do is just change the charging power right here. And this is not from the update. This has been here the whole time. You can drop it down to 30 charge, and it'll be totally fine. Now, if I have some of these in my inventory, and I don't think I do, yeah, that's a little annoying, but it'll be fine. Anyway, all that we're doing here is look at that gross stuff. We're literally sending the bad pea water back to our planet for industrial purposes. That's why they put a robot in charge. Alright, so all we're going to do is set sulfuric acid to remote supply, local supply. And I could do more than 2 pumps, which sounds like a Key and Peele sketch. Oh no, I agree. Finding and reusing what we have on Earth is definitely kind of the next thing. It's kind of the same question as, well, if we terraform Mars, can't we use the same technology to fix the whatever problems happen on Earth, which is definitely something we've discussed on here before. Yep, someone knows Key and Peele, so that's good. We're not getting a penalty here. We only have 2 pumps. Anyway, how's our tech doing? 38 minutes. So unfortunately, one thing that I am going to have to deal with, as I can just drop these down here, we can go ahead and say must equip things here. Transport range of vessels. We are not going to do unlimited. We will do like 10. See, this is the problem here, is that the transport range of vessels would just keep me, just set my things on, even though it said must equip warpers. They're just like, whatever, we're going to check this first. Apparently that's something that's going to be fixed in a patch. So all I got to do here is we're literally just going to fly back. I have the energy for it. I don't know if there's really any other stars here that, or any other planets that are kind of like new. We've seen what icy, apparently Gelisol means it has a rare resource on it, So that's something to look out for. But both these have fire ice, which is nice, except I already have a huge deposit of it. So, where's home? That's not home. That's 21 light years to a black hole. All right, this is kind of a crowded star map. But that's the idea of you fly to somewhere else in space and the night sky looks really different. So, always me with the mistakes, but oh, sorry for the cough. But you can see that already I've kind of blown through all those hydrogen fuel cells that I had, all 20 of them. That's where a commenter earlier in another video that I put on YouTube was absolutely correct in criticizing me for suggesting that we could use other things. These deuterium fuel rods last a lot longer. The problem right now for me is that I do need them for production. I could probably also put antimatter in there. Did I pass by? No, we're targeting the wrong thing now. We're targeting this. This is where we're going. We need to slow down. If I just talk and let the game go, it's just gonna let me go. I still really like it though, how you can literally see all of your stuff like fly by. I think our planet's on the other side here. There it is. What up, home? Boop! Right into our production area, so we can see real quick. Well, this is our potato chip processor area, where we are producing a lot of them. In fact, how many chips are we producing in system now? Like total entire star cluster. I just want to know how many processors are we making. 164 production. We're not consuming all of them, but I could be doing more. So here's our titanium. Our titanium glass is just going all the way over here, which is very exciting. And then all of our titanium glass over here is very exciting. We're actually... Why is this one not getting crystals? I guess they just aren't reaching? Huh. Alright, well. One day we'll get it. But it's interesting that we are literally at our limit. We have whatever handpick ratios for that as doing alright. Like, I just kind of eyeballed that. Anyway, our remote demand here, this is going to be our... we don't have any interstellar ships that can go around, although these could totally do it. Right now they're bringing even more potato chips in. But one thing I can do... I wonder if I can't unassign their ships because they're busy flying. But potentially one thing I could do is... once those ships return, just say, no, never leave again. You have betrayed me. And just call it a day. So how many green science are we producing now? Because it ought to be more. I fixed some logistics stuff. There we go, 51. Wow, we're actually outpacing consumption. No, I only got one person that was like, I like real football from Europe, because there's always that one person. And I was just like, I like Football Manager. I love spreadsheet simulators. I don't follow football, but I've put in way too much time for Football Manager over the years. And that's pretty much that. Most people are probably just like, oh my god, am I going to watch 2.5 hours of stream VOD? So I'm kind of impressed that somebody made it through that far. I can't use you as fuel for some reason. I can't use you for fuel as some reason. Alright, but yeah. I think we have a steady enough flow where I can just not forget to do the thing that I did before. Like I said, sulfuric acid, it's really just like organic crystals. It's another thing you can just grab, because needing a bunch of stone, a bunch of refined oil, and a bunch of water is really a lot. And you can see we need sulfuric acid for this production, which is important for a lot of reasons. And I need a box to put these solar panels in, because we're kind of doing something different with the sun here on this planet. Can I drop you guys off here and here? There we go. Man, I have a lot of these crappy belts. I'll just delete them. You can tell I've been doing some fixing off camera. So once again, we have our automated processes here, which what I expected to happen has officially happened here. Oh, no, not quite. I am short on graphene for these. Cute. I know why I'm short on why I'm short on energetic graphene form, because I moved that somewhere else. But if I need conveyors, I will just pull these off the line. And we should have enough engines here to last us a little while, because remember, I was trying to automate parts for the orbital collector, which, doing this in a future save, I will definitely automate production of accumulators. Players that are far smarter than me have been like, yeah, that's a good idea. Anyway, we only need 10. 10's probably more than we need. So look, there's our happy little planets. Sun, star, whatever you want to call it. But yeah, our production is going good. It's just one of those things where there's not a lot to do other than let it bake. Like, we're back here again, and we're still low on titanium glass, and the reason we're low on titanium glass is because this production's slow. But at least we're getting titanium in the queue now, kind of. I mean, I know it's hard to tell because everything's kind of going all over the place. Like, there's our glass. And there's our titanium. So it's trying, guys. Okay. Let's go visit Amazon again. So it's really interesting that they try to change it to where with a patch they want you to be able to slow down, not be able to go to warp until you're outside of a gravitational field. But apparently you can park your butt right in warp and get there and just stop. So look, we almost crashed into one of our other planets. What's my YouTube again? It's really weird. My YouTube is still way to fail self. I have not been able to change that. I can send you a link after this just to see, but it's there. It does exist. There's been a lot of people that have been watching this and strangely enjoying it. I guess it's one of those things where this is a really good game to just kind of sit back and relax with. And, you know, sometimes I stream at this hour just because I need to just sit back and relax. I get to do that sometimes, but not all the time. Yeah, like, for some reason, YouTube just won't let me change my actual name. Like, I have to keep the URL. It's a little silly, archaic, and honestly, I don't care enough to fix it. But another thing I could do with this planet, if I did want to develop it more, is that this one's close enough, and you can see this one has a lot of copper. And it has a lot of iron. This would be a great example of a planet, especially with some of these mining nodes that are so close, that I could just make this another place where I ship ore from. Like, if I can make any miners, I don't think I can. No. Oh, no, I can't. But strategically speaking, if I were to come visit this place first, like, there's coal here, there's lots of copper, lots of iron, very convenient next to our angry puddles. Oh yeah, oh god, I don't touch Twitter anymore. No. And I'll tell you the reason that I stopped doing anything with Twitter is that I literally got no YouTube engagement off of Twitter. Okay, watch this uncharge as these guys decide they want to start flying. I'm definitely not going to need 10 ships. And this is going to charge a little slower because of this. This is what I need to do on the other planet. We could have this charge faster because I do have a whole solar network now. But like, let's not do the entire star cluster, just the local planet. Like, see, if I was just needing to do this because I only had like a few things, that's the slider that you want. So all these things do change, but we're just gonna put it back down to the default 60. And we'll have sulfuric acid that we don't really need. But yeah, Twitter sucks. I knew that before Donald Trump. So yeah, half an hour. Oh wow. One of my cats just decided to open the door like a moron. That's fun. And it's kind of stupid because I talk about cats, but then they don't want to get close enough to pay the cat tax. But it's just like, oh, what are you doing? Are you going to feed me again? Even though you just fed me. Gus, come here. Come here. Oh, he's going to do it. Oh, God. Oh. Oh, this is a big cat. Like, he's big anyway. Come here, Gus. Oh. Hey, Show, how you doing? No, this... If I'm on a work call, this cat will barge in and just be like, yeah, I know the kids are running around because they're doing homeschool and having in-home recess or whatever right now, but I'm just going to open the door so that everybody can hear anyway. But yeah, this is Gus. He's giant. He's also a little fat because he has trouble. He got taken away from his mom a little too early, so he has some problems with basic things like eating control or deciding I could pee in the litter box or I can pee next to the litter box. So, but he loves hug things. Yeah, he is a regular chonk, but he's strong as hell. But strangely, he lets both my kids pick him up and just like, yeah, it's fine. So let me put you back down, dude. All right. Oh God. Yeah. All right. He wants to be a good cat, but he just pisses me off sometimes because that's what cats do. All right. So, Show, I don't know if you've watched. Oh, look, see, that's what the interstellar ships are supposed to do. They're actually supposed to travel at light speed. I'll tell you one thing I can do before we fly off into the sunset here is actually put some more space warpers here. But Show, anything you want to see, I can show you my home plan again. I know I've been posting a few pictures in Maya's Discord about stuff. So we are progressing ever so slowly, 23 minutes. That probably seems more correct. It's kind of like a final countdown here. Oh God, this is Factorio with multiple planets, and it is hard to believe that it is this feature complete in early access. Like, about what's missing is more like things like they plan on making it like Factorio where you do have hostile things you have to deal with. So I guess you can't do things like ring a planet and solar panels like I've done here. And I'm going to fly the wrong way because I'm not using my coordinates down here very well to mark where my stuff is. But since I have some extra space warpers, not much else to do with them here. But yeah, I'll fly back to the home system and then we'll pick somewhere fun to go. But see, look, 35. It started with 42, so that's kind of what it's supposed to do. All right, and they can only hold 50. That'll be fine. Yeah, no, literally all the way around. Like, I ran into this on my last stream where this is something that eventually game mechanics will need to be fixed or solar panels need to be nerfed. So I guess it's kind of like Republicans in real life saying nerf solar, go coal. which is ironic because when you start this game, you're literally the Lorax eating the trees and gulping up coal and oil as much as you can just to power yourself as a futuristic space robot. But now we can go past the speed of light. So let's see, I've been to a neutron star, I've been to a black hole. Yeah, the Lorax speaks for the trees because he eats them. I used to know that book by heart. There was like a 4-month period where my kids wanted to hear that every day. So that was one of the ones that was in rotation. Definitely a good one. Alright, so here's our home system where we have, I'm not going to actually finish the Dyson Sphere on this save, I don't think. There's just too many little things that I've screwed up, but we're going to fly right past it. No, we'll stop here. So there's the sphere, and the swarm. And there's our little lava planet that's actually shooting laser beams. Those are rail guns that are shooting high velocity solar panels that I don't, or sun sails. I have no idea how they stop their momentum to where it's just like, we're just going to stop right here and go into an orbit around the sun. I'm sure there's some way you can mathematically model to be like, if I shoot this solar sail at this velocity, it will go and stop and park in an orbit like this around the sun. Boop. Oh, we actually splashed down. So this is, I haven't developed my whole world, but I've developed a lot of it. And it's a right mess. I am not an organized person in my life. I'm not an organized person here. And I don't know if there's really anything I need to do with the sulfuric acid other than to say I have it. But theoretically, it is some resources I could free up later. But see, like, you can see how many times I went through. Let me put more solar panels down. But oh, I actually need to weed eat here a little bit. Down, 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 down. I think I can actually stack more of these now, but I don't have more in my inventory. No, I can't. Interesting. But one of the things that's really cool to just sometimes and sit and watch in this game is just looking at like all the little logistics things buzzing back and forth. And then just like this is all this automation stuff is just kind of beyond what I was expecting here. I mean, it totally fried my computer. Now, one thing I do want to check is, am I still not launching anything? Okay, we're not launching. All right, did I mess up this production line? You guys are not getting solar sails very much. Okay, so why aren't we getting you? Oh God. Why aren't we getting you? Why aren't we getting stone? Well, that's fixable. Yeah, man, if you like Factorio and you like spaghetti, this is like a nightmare. Like, I didn't even think about, you know what, I could just pave over all this water and just make something nice and flat and workable. Just like, no, let me run giant chains of things across the planet. Like, this is where I started out, and it's a lot like Factorio in that you have your little research cubes that you gotta feed into stuff. We're pretty much at the end here, as now you have to combine all your powers a la Captain Planet plus the 6th one, so I guess it's more like Power Rangers or something. But yeah, eventually it all just automates very well. But if I were theoretically to play into the deep late game, which would be pretty much at this point, deciding, you know what, I really want to just finish my Dyson Sphere, I'm going to have to let the game idle for a while. This clock down here shows not just my local time, as you, Barrick, and you show are in very different time zones where it's much more acceptable to be awake right now. For me, I am, yeah, Captain Planet. What was the other one? The alternative, the evil Captain Planet was like Captain Pollution or something. There's like one episode of that, and that really stuck with me as a kid. And it's like, oh my god, it's an evil Captain Planet. This is terrible. And it's like, and as I got older, I was like, this is just real life. This is who actually wins, because they're the ones that write the laws and the legislation. Alright, so... But here's an important thing, once again. It's just like, we have all this stone here. I actually have too much stone to put in here. But now we have our logistics towers, and this is the really big change from Factorio, is that you have these towers that you can just put resources in, and it'll put them all the way around. So like I'm feeding this glass, which feeds to make these prisms, and those prisms will feed to make these assemblers. And don't ask me what this is. This is a bunch of processors that aren't being used right now, but eventually we'll start making more solar sails, and this production's going to go back to maybe an acceptable pace. I was wondering why these weren't firing, which means I really wonder if there's nothing supplying stone now. I think I actually did deactivate that, so since I have a free tower here with some free spots... Ooh, my voice is going, that's fun. Let me just take stone and put local supply, remote, demand, and we'll see if that helps. No, that's pretty much it, and I'll be honest, though, if you look up old pictures of Captain Pollution, it looks like he's surrounded by a bunch of lawyers. You know, that scum. Those scummy people. Alright, so our green production, like, this is exactly what's going to happen here. It's just we have one set of resources that's bottlenecking us, and it's not the literal antimatter that you make. It's this other stuff, but we still have research here. Like, you can check the clock here. These only go 4 per minute. I probably have enough stacked up here already that I'm going to be able to finish this just with what's in here. So that's pretty exciting. I don't know for sure if this is going to be the best research output, if I need to research some other stuff with other colors, but I'm not too concerned about that right now, because my goal here for this save was just to get to the mission complete, and we are going to try our best to do that. Let me just do one fly-through for the... one more fly-through for the Dyson Sphere, Dyson Swarm, before we pick another place to go. So like I said, there's a few things I haven't seen in this game. I mean, we could go to... those white dwarves are a little far away. But there is a red giant that I haven't been to. And there's some O-type stars somewhere. But anyway... here's what I've supposedly been building. Duke Nukem was a Captain Planet villain? I definitely forgot that one. But yeah, it's just interesting to me that these are not just pixels in the sky. These are actually modeled. I mean, granted, they're flat textures because they're solar sails. But you can literally fly up and through this stuff. Each of these decay at their own rate, and you can research technologies to make them happen. So, if I were to do this again, I'd definitely make my Dyson Sphere smaller, but inevitably this stuff just looks cool. I don't know. This game just, like, pulled me in right away. Has not happened for me in a while. Whoa, I just tried. I don't know if I can even... I can probably fly through the sphere without any problem, but here we go. Yeah, I hate saying this, Barrack, but as the 90s, that doesn't really narrow it down. But see, you even have like your little junction points where eventually stuff will be connected here. So where are we flying to? B-type star, B-type star. I mean, there's an O towards the black hole. I guess I could visit the black hole one time, just to show that it's working. Now let's make a detour there. I didn't pack snacks, but I think I'll be okay. Like, I did do some fixes. So that's the story. Alright. That sounds totally factually legitimate, so I'm not going to try to Google or test anything to see. Once again, you're just describing the 90s. Like, there's only so many outfits you can put on somebody. Although it's hilarious, my kids have watched enough cartoons that make fun of the 90s now, because that's old times now. Where then they wanted to pick up watching the 2005 version of Scooby-Doo. It's like, oh man, those aughts, those mid-aughts, that's not far removed from the 90s, and you guys are sitting here eating it up like it's so cool. Which, by the way, my college roommate hated that show and was so disappointed because he was one of those people. It's like, okay, everyone's like, Scooby-Doo's this thing, we'll buy him a Scooby-Doo something. And he set himself up for disappointment and was roundly disappointed. Yeah, man, I remember the 90s. That one time I had black nail polish on my fingers. I was such a rebel. Draw a picture of Matchbox 20 on my face. Oh wow, we actually ran out of energy here. It's a little awkward, but at least we know we can fly most of the way here. And then there's our black hole buddy over here. What kind of star system is this? Obviously it's an O-type star. And we have a lot of good resources here. This is 53 solar masses. I assume that's what the big M means. And these are, I believe, the O-types, at least in this game, if we're going by the real-life designations, are the largest stars available. Well, you know what, show? I want to say you were, but I guess the question for me is, have you been California? Pretty much, were you in California in the 90s as well? Oh look, solar energy ratio, 156%. That's exciting. Oh, did Prince save you in 1999, Barrick? Lava with a 1 to 4 resonance, so that's cute. 1 to 4 resonance with what? I don't know. And a Gobi planet. I guess we'll visit the Gobi planet just for fun. I mean, the 90s were not a good time for me either. I think what bailed me out kind of was, oh God, I always forget if it's Can't Hardly Wait or another movie that's in that similar vein, where it's just like, man, your time's college. College will be good. You don't belong in high school. It's like, I know. And then college took a while to be good too, so... Let's visit the star, and then I do want to visit just the, we'll visit the surface of one of these. We've seen a volcanic ash. We'll do the Gobi, because I think that's just a desert one, but this is probably just going to look like a big star. We have a habit on this channel. Oh, uh-oh. Our research stopped. That's not good. I wonder, and you know what? I wonder a little bit if that's because it's modeling these things and the research and the production because I'm so far away. I think it actually handles things differently. Well, I'm glad that worked out better, Barrick. Because, yeah, that's, the 90s was not a good time to be bullied. That is for sure. I was still in the era of, well, you just need to love the bully and make friends with the bully and shit like that. It's like, no. Okay, so that's a really bright circle. Like, they're all stars, so they're all really big. And obviously we know there's not going to be sound in space, but you can't actually die, so you can just buzz the star. And it does try to have some gravitational effects. Like, we would know, like, technically when you fly towards a star, you accelerate a little bit, Now, we know in real life if we were to fly towards a star like that and slingshot away, that's totally a legitimate maneuver, and we'd be going much faster now. Assuming we went around the correct side of the star. If we went the wrong way, then we'd be shedding a lot of speed, which both of those are viable things to do, as I am forgetting where I'm trying to go. Alright, over here. So this is a really wide star system. Okay, cool. I feel like I knew that, but I forgot. No. We're not going back in time. We didn't fly all the way around the planet. Plus, a star that big, I mean, it's massive, but it doesn't have the right gravity. Oh, 1984 to save the whales. It's kind of funny, because that's my favorite of the old Star Trek movies, and my wife hates it because she got tricked into going to see it. She thought she was going to get to go see Karate Kid 2, and then her mom at the last second was like, no, let's go see Star Trek 4. And she's never forgiven anybody for that all these years later. Yeah, so that would definitely qualify for 90s rebellion. Did you go full chain wallet and everything too, or just the long hair? Boop. Yeah, I hadn't thought about that Star Trek movie in a while, and it's my favorite of the old movies. Honestly, I've always liked Star Trek more than Star Wars. Like, I'll still sit and watch, like, The Next Generation sometimes. But the Next Generation movies were only kind of okay. Like, I like the one with the Borg, and they went back in time in that one too. That was a good one. So this is an exciting planet. I kind of like the green haze, and it has kimberlite ore, which I actually don't have, but I kind of feel a tugging of responsibility that my research is kind of waning because of automatic processing. Like, if we look at this right now, our production when we were so much closer. Wow, this really doesn't want to scroll down. Like, we're suddenly down to 7.6 gravity matrix production. Either something's wrong with my production, which is far more likely, or I'm really far away and the game's kind of running an autopilot modeling things that are far away. Both seem possible. I don't have a good answer. Okay. Nah, band is like... Band's the shit. Definitely know plenty of people who band was the only reason they're able to make it to school every day. Because shit happened. I wasn't really one of them, and I had plenty of people was like, you should do band. It's like, I play trombone, but my trombone is like terribly beat up. And I'll never get another one because my parents wanted me to focus on piano, so... Yeah, you say that, Enterprise being the prequels of Star Trek, but I don't know if Enterprise has the main potential that the prequels did. And yeah, DS9 was definitely something that I really wanted it to be the next generation, and I didn't really appreciate it until later on. Fortunately, while I was still on the air, but it took me a while to just kind of accept who it was. And I think one of the things that really disappointed me is that, other than like a few guest appearances for DS9, the only carryover character, as you can see once again, things flying in the distance there. Oh, I didn't step by the black hole. Whoops. Well, we'll worry about that later. I can always show pictures of that, but one of the things that really disappointed me about DS9 is that O'Brien or O'Brien, or however you want to call it, easily my least favorite character from Next Generation, other than Wesley, because everybody hates Wesley. Yeah, he's like, we're gonna bring him over. Oh God, I'm sure show. That's, and it's kind of sad that like the past 4, 6, 8 years, people have been paying attention to racism. And I just have to scream, and I know because obviously you've lived it. It's just like, it's not like this is new. It's not like it went away. This shit's always been there. Like, I had to deal with a lot of closed door racism growing up. Obviously, white male, Protestant, Caucasian. I was on the privileged side of that, but it's horrible some of the things I'd hear my parents say, my relatives say. Just like, well, we're at home, it's safe. I get that from clients sometimes. They see me, it's like, it's safe. I can talk about these bleeps, and these bleeps. It's like, you don't even know me. You know, you may disqualify it as minor, but the problem is that it exists. That's the thing. And that's your personal experience that you had to go through. So obviously there's varying degrees of everything, but it's not shit that people should go through. And it's kind of the same, in a sense, it's kind of the same shit that I've had to talk about or talked about with other people before, whether it's like even immigrant families that came from Eastern Europe to the Midwest and shit. It's just like people are just try to dump on people just because where they're from, and that's there's no reason for that. There's no like that just shouldn't be a consideration. And I mean, there's a terrible history out west too, where obviously internment and everything else, but that's only one example of terrible things that were done. Like even just the Western expansion is just like, well, let's take all the Asian population, we'll put them in the risky jobs for like creating the railroads and blasting stuff because they're expendable, they're not really people. Just terrible bits of history like that. But then what I keep hearing in North Carolina is like, oh, you know, you guys, you Southerners. It's like, yeah, but you're up in Wisconsin flying a Confederate flag, so I think there's a lot of shitheads everywhere. That's what kind of the past few years have revealed more than like, oh, there's new racism. It's like, no, it's always been there. God, yeah. I forgot. I don't know why I thought you were closer to like the Fort Worth area. Even though you just told me yesterday, but yeah, West Texas, that's shit. Like I did when I used to be a high school teacher. I know I've mentioned that multiple times to both of you all before. I grew up in Charlotte, North Carolina, where you would get kicked out and sent home if you wore Confederate flag stuff. And my first teaching job was in Welcome, North Carolina, which is just north of Lexington, which the saying I heard from other people was, welcome to welcome, now get the hell out. But yeah, that was a place where very first day of school, people, I saw like real quick, people would get made fun of if you were not wearing Confederate flag stuff. So I went from an environment growing up that was very race conscious, very big history of like leading the nation and busing and integrating schools and everything, although there's a lot of racism in Charlotte as well, obviously, to openly hostile school to black people, where I would have students that were diagnosed as behaviorally, emotionally challenged literally just because they were black. It's terrible. And I have no idea where my planet is. Eventually you get all these logistics vessels and you don't know what to do with them. Okay, so there's, I really like that you can see all the stuff in warp. I know I say it every time, but I'm a broken record. And boop. Oh wow, that's a second hot landing in a row. I wonder if they allowed that a little more with the most recent update. But first things first, was my theory about production being different because, yeah, look at that, production's already just popped back up because we are local again. Yeah, that sucks. And what did you teach in high school again? I hate that I don't remember these things, but it's been a while since we kind of talked about this stuff. Oh, okay. Hey, you know, that matter from the crater could have been used to make the Dyson Sphere, so maybe that's a good way to mine the planet. So, what is failing our production here? It's this again. So apparently our challenge today is titanium glass, because we need glass. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, that's cute. I'll tell you what's going on here is that I'm missing stone. Well, that's easily fixed. But definitely I have better plans for logistics vessels once this shit's all done. Hey, Didile, which I probably just mispronounced. You know what's fun about this is that if you get lost up in the sky, one of the nice things is that the game will just point you directly to, like, if we fly up here real quick. It's like, it'll tell you what stars you've been to. So eventually you'll find your way. It may not always be pretty, but you'll find your way. And I mean, there's a certain philosophy that I've seen from some people. It's like, yeah, you can just kind of do a hard restart by just dropping all your inventory and... let's just do it like this. Dropping all your inventory and just flying off to another planet and starting again. Alright, this should be enough glass to carry me through. So what ended up happening for this is that I was rolling around, and at one point I switched some of the demand for stuff, and it just kind of said, you know what, we don't really need stone anymore. So I stopped getting stone shipped from somewhere. What that probably means is that what I need to do is take my stone from other places and drop it off here. But I actually have a logistics tower where stone's supposed to be getting imported right now. So there's stone supply. It was one of the interstellar logistics stations. I was bringing in stone from somewhere. But this is another example of, whoopsies, I don't have enough of these. I actually only need some CPUs for this, so we can pull these right off the line. And maybe I can get some stone here. But yeah, once again, show you like spaghetti. This is literally the flying spaghetti monster of bases. It's Barracks watched me build some of this. It's a work of art. And I mean that very much in the IT crowd, rabbits. Oh, wait, no, that's not IT. Oh my god, how can I get that wrong? The spaced version of art, where we're just sitting around screaming at stuff. Spaced. Now, there's a show I had no idea my kids wanted to watch. They're young. They're like, we want to watch this show about people in the 90s sitting around. It's like, okay, cool. Oh, it always surprises me with like the stuff that they're interested in. So, since I'm not being able to find where I'm going, and you can see this production's still going pretty sadly, I love this. We're just out of everything now. So we don't have any of these. Because we don't have any of these. Uh-oh. And the reason we don't have any of these... now that's fascinating. Now I had these trying their best to build. And this is where late game logistics is fun. I knew that time frame would be a little different. But my green science production is the one thing I haven't really solved yet. So first off, what was I trying to do? I was trying to get stone together here, and we need a few more logistics vessels, so let's do that before I forget. And then I can just drop a bunch of these on the line. It may be enough. Okay. Boop. There's 3. Do local demand. Local demand, remote demand, so we're just not getting stone right now. Cool, okay. That's fixable. Alright, so where is all of my shit coming from? First off, let's go ahead and start by just putting all this stuff here. I really like that you can just hold down the mouse button and just drop this stuff off. So that's part A of the problem. Don't tell me this means I ran out of magnets and I actually do need to fly back to the black hole, because that would be hilarious and a great way to end it. So these are all going. These are particle colliders. Not quite like CERN, but it's a robot. So how's this doing? Yeah, shit, we are actually out of these. Okay, so it looks like my production of these actually kind of broke down too. No, not really. No, that's still going. Although we're running low on this stuff, so that'll fix itself. Alright, so that's fascinating. We're trying to fix everything, and it turns out that once again, the bane of my existence here is my logistics failures. And that's okay. It's just a little silly. Now, if I remind myself here, don't I actually have stone being mined on the lava world? This is like the whole, like, end of season recap episode now. Just straight up. So we do need to visit the black hole one more time. I'm actually running low on energy, which is a little awkward because this was all getting produced here. Oh, what? You should totally have this. Why aren't you making this? This is like a little... This is getting a little crazy now. Like, I have a ton of this stuff. So that's my hydrogen line. Like, here we go. This stuff's all supposed to dump out here. This is deuterium fuel rods, which are all sitting here on the line waiting to be used. So I'm totally just going to steal some snacks here. Kerbal Space Program style. Alright, good enough. But clearly we have even more production problems at the very end. So let's... Nope, not destruction mode. Boop! Okay, so let's follow this line. It's really nice that you can build conveyor belts at multiple levels and build them all over other things. One thing that I didn't even think about taking advantage of that I kind of already knew is that you can stack storage boxes in this game and make them work. Okay. I know exactly what I did wrong here. Okay, so I'm supposed to have titanium feeding this. And for some reason, you know what, we don't need to do that. Actually don't need to do that. Although it's nice that we do. Because I have a box full of puppies right here. And that'll be able to do the line for now. Now, one other thing that I could do to make this a little better is like make the sorter. You can actually click one of these to make it priority. You know what? I changed my mind. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it with one of the slower sorters. Just so that we keep some things pumping and going. Alright. Where are we on the technology here? 8 minutes. Alright. Which means if we look at our production here, we're up to a whopping consumption 15, production 12. You can see the bottleneck right here. It's in the data. That's just really fascinating. Alright. So see, this is what ends up happening when I stream this game. I have my nice lulls sitting in interstellar space, where I have audience engagement, and I get to wax poetic about the 90s and all that entails, and now I get back to my home system and I'm like, oh shit, everything's breaking. That's Dyson Sphere Program. Everything breaks until it doesn't, and then it breaks some more. I do love that the music's even kind of Kerbal Space Program flying out here, but anyway, here's our lasers. This solar sail product. Whoa, okay. We missed a planet. This is fine. Might need to puke a little bit after that one. There's a reason I don't do spacefight games very much, although Everspace 2 hasn't really bothered me too much, except for 1 or 2 times. But this is my solar sail production. And let's see, we're not really supplying copper to anybody. That's curious. So let's go ahead and clear this. See if we can make this stone. Local demand remote supply. Because I don't know if I have any stone mining going on right now. And ironically, I don't think I can make any miners right now. No, still can't. Oh, this is awkward. All right. But it's nice. We've visited a whole bunch of planets. I do need to get some more little magnet things, because I did try to grab as many of those as I could. So here's our titanium trying its best. Is our silicon out? Did I actually mine out all the silicon? Because there's not very much on this planet. But I can totally take those miners. Like you can see, it's spaghetti all the way down. Alright. There's a minuscule amount, but we're getting silicon somewhere else. Where's some stone at? We do have stone on this lava planet that's literally covered in rocks. Right. Alright, there's some stone up there. Do we have anything closer? Not really. Okay. A little awkward. It is nice that you can kind of point your direction and fly that way. And then it's also really nice to be like, look at how much bigger the sphere looks over here. If your stuff is... Oh, look! You can actually see right there. Let's fly up to that real quick. This is higher priority. You can tell that my logistics systems are starting to work on filling another node. And what it's literally going to be doing is starting to shoot and drag these solar sails up to here. So that's just... And it's like slowly but surely going to take all of these... Can't really slow down very well, but it's going to slow those down and actually build another panel. I haven't actually had this happen in a while. That's disorienting, but it's space flight, so as we all know, all directions are up in space. Yeah, good stuff. Where's our planet? Because I still need to fix the stone issue. I got so excited. We're just going to fly to the laser blasts. And not miss the planet this time. Alright, reorient myself. I think we're pretty close to the stone by sheer luck. I do have some power poles by sheer luck. It's actually a really convenient stone or shift to move around very, very nicely. I think I can maybe get... No, it's going to do one or the other. Okay, that's fine. And then just drag it on. Like I said, all these little rocks are stone. It actually makes it pretty annoying to walk around. But we have little drones flying around to build things, so that's neat. You don't just have to lay down everything. No, but yes, I guess we're doing that now. Cool. Like, Who cares? It's a lava planet. Nobody lives on here. The civilization that I'm building a Dyson Sphere for is literally hiding uploaded in the internet somewhere, so they're not going to be able to come over here and criticize me except on YouTube comments. Who knows, maybe we can get a jar of Dick Clark's head to cheer on the final countdown here. Because we are 4 minutes away. Oh god, that's not the station we want. Oh no. Alright. Get to hear some happy deleting sounds. Alright, so in that case, where is our logistics station? You know what? We are going to do this the easy way. Because right now we have, we don't have any silicon coming from here anymore, so this is gone. And we're just going to make this stone supply. Cool. I don't have to undo any of the nice spaghettification I just did. And everything's going to work out. It's all going to be fine, except for the whole building into this part. Alright, so stone. It's only one miner, but it'll do. And then what's going to happen is that we don't have any logistics tiny vessels. Let me guess, I can't build any right now? No, but that's only because I don't have iron. Cute. Well, what's supposed to happen here is that you can see these numbers are going down, and the reason for that is because even though I don't have any logistics vessels here, they're all coming from up at the top of the planet. So it only took 52 hours, 40 minutes, but I'm finally getting logistics to work for me. Except for all the times where it doesn't. But here we go. There's our home planet all the way over there. There is literally another chunk of stuff being started. Here's stone, which I do have logistics vessels that'll be able to send those. Oh, I do have a bunch of energetic graphene I could totally send over to the planet. That's probably worth doing. So one more flyby. Looks like we are really close. I guess get your party hats on. It's 1 minute 30 seconds. We actually might get to the planet in time. We get a celebratory autosave. Let's see if we can punch through this. I haven't actually tested to see if I can fly through. I'm pretty sure I can. Whoops. Alright. Nobody will know. So there's Amazon Star one more time. And splashdown. There we go. I guess enough people really liked the splashdown that they just wanted to keep doing it. But there you go. Ah, there's our rockets. Okay. That's what the little rocket launchy things look like. Ideally, we'd have these going continuously, but it's... you've seen my mess. You can get like a wood sign for it. Alright, so... remote demand, local supply. And you see all these things are going to be shipped over here from my lava planet. If there's a way to rename it, I really need to figure that out. Because it'd be really nice to rename our planets. But let's go to our happy little science towers. Not those, that's our yellow science. Here's the big ones. Where you can see once again, they're doing their best. We have 4 per minute going. Actually 0 seconds. There we go! Congratulations, builder of great civilizations.
Congratulations, builder of great civilizations. The primary mission of the Dyson Sphere Program has been successfully completed with your efforts. The energy you provided is bound to make the homeland develop with high speed, and your figure will imprint with every step forward. This cluster has been activated. To remember your achievements, people light up a star in the Milky Way star map. Yes, it will always record your contribution to the forthcoming third-level civilization. Now please rest a while, and then embark on the journey of the Sea of Stars again.
Well, I'm glad to know that after doing all of that research, that really the secret of the planet is just a, what is it, a little bit of a billboard carving for an award that was won for the coast off of Norway being some of the most beautiful work in the entire galaxy. So, look, our logistics vessels are busy doing their thing. Since we're not actively researching right now, this is going to keep working making little stuff. But once again, things I can research. I don't have any power problems, so I don't really need an artificial star. Like, my power's fine. I'm glad you remembered what that was called, because it's been way too long. I've been meaning to get that book out of a box in the attic and read it again, because I have the whole 5 set. But like I said, I could totally research things like increasing my max core energy, but that's a little rough without like increasing my actual recharge, and 4,000 for that is really big. In fact, that may be one of the more important things to manually research first, because as you've seen, my recharge gets just a little bit slow. But yeah, that's Dyson Sphere Program, and I don't really have like any celebratory words or anything other than to say, damn, it didn't feel like 50 hours. But at the same time, it felt like it didn't take very long, and it felt like it took like 1,000 hours. Like, this is a game that just is really easy to suck you in, and I've enjoyed it enough where I need to give it just a few days to bake, but I do intend on taking the lessons that I've learned and tried to not make a base that is this like spread out and just like shooting everywhere. Like, what I've learned from this is really, it's kind of like Factorio or anything else, RimWorld even, where like you just got to get through that first playthrough of stuff and then you figure out, okay, this is what I need to do. Like, you can tell here later on my stuff gets more organized. There's a method to my madness. Definitely need to abuse logistics towers a lot more. But if we look like earlier in my building, it's like, oh my god, shit's all over the place. Like, I did set up a few automation things, but it's just like stuff spread out. I have an attempt at like a main bus of all this stuff, and then you have, whoops, stuff getting sent right the other way. So it's good. It's nice that I was able to get kind of a big survey of everything that's around the planet. But yeah, I think even though this sphere is now setting behind the gas giant, and we can actually check this real quick because I've gotten a few questions about this. Setting behind the gas giant, our power load's 66, our satisfaction's 100, our solar panel is still getting 92 intensity despite the fact that the star is behind a gas giant. So the solar panels don't get affected like the other beams do. But yeah, I think this is an appropriate place to just say, you know what? It's really been a lot of fun with this save, with this planet, and it'll always live on in my mind and my heart. As like, there's rare times when you're playing games for as many years as I have, and I know you all watching kind of feel the same way. You know when you're playing something and it's special, and you're kind of like, okay, I just got to enjoy this while it's here because it's never going to feel like this again. Dyson Sphere Program kind of brought that back to me, unlike other games that I've played for a while. And I think that's maybe the most glowing praise I can give it. Maybe I should write a Steam review, I don't know. But yeah, it's just, like, literally, it's just its own ecosystem of robots. It's just a bunch of Roombas going around. And no matter what I do here, I could just sit. And yeah, maybe there's some resources that need to be brought from other planets. And eventually, these, oh wow. Did those logistics vessels finally make it? Nope, they did not make it from the black hole. They are going to be there a very, very long time. 16 light years at 2,000 meters per second. Very long time. But yeah, I'm going to have to call this stream, not just because it's 2 o'clock my time, but because mission has been accomplished. I was wanting to win the game today, and I did. And strangely enough, it happened in just about the time frame the game said it would, which is highly unusual. So we'll stop back here kind of where we started. But this is Asher with Dyson Sphere Program. If you're watching this on YouTube, I am amazed at your constitution and being able to stick around here. I am going to be streaming some other stuff. Like I said, Curse the Dead God, still fun. I was thinking maybe I'd squeeze in a stream of this here, but no, it's too late. And I have, work has been one of those fun things where I've simultaneously made opposing counsel and my clients mad at me at the same time. So it's like, oh, I'm having to deal with all that right now. But that'll be a fun Friday. So I hope you all have a good day, good night, whatever time it is for you, because we have a very international audience today, which is always super cool to think about on Twitch. But let's look at Totally Not Bumblebee here one more time. This little robot built a bunch of shit. Not bad for a day at the library. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Dyson Sphere Program. It is a bargain for $20. I think that's the price for it. Whatever the price was. This is definitely worth a $60 price of admission. If you like the kind of Factorio building automation style games, this does it very, very well. So thanks for watching. Thanks for dropping in. And we'll do this again soon on a new planet. Have a good night.